watched so much TikTok, it ended up saving a life. I've been working as a doctor for 4 years. After a while, you think that nothing can shock you anymore. But then a few weeks ago, a patient came in that genuinely believed he could defy all laws of physics. It started as business as usual. He came in and sat down, and I did a visual evaluation. This man was pale as hell. I'm talking Casper the Ghost white. So when he told me he was fainting twice a day, I wasn't surprised. I thought it would just be another case of severe anemia. I was very, very wrong. Are you getting enough calories? I asked, expecting the usual excuses about being too busy to eat, but he just laughed at me. Ha ha ha. I knew you were gonna ask some BS like that, he said, shaking his head like I was the crazy one. Have you ever considered that maybe not all your patients want to stuff their faces with food 3 times a day? Some of us are actually happy with what nature gives us. I forced myself to nod professionally, but my mind was racing. What the hell did he mean by that? The silence stretched between us for what felt like forever, maybe 30 seconds, before he finally rolled his eyes. Fine, you want to see what I eat for lunch so badly? Then watch and learn. What happened next still haunts me. He stood up and walked to the window and opened it up. I watched in complete confusion as he stood there with his head sticking out the window, completely barefoot, and started taking these long, dramatic, deep breaths. For a full minute, he just stood there breathing, while I tried to process what I was witnessing. Then he turned to me with this proud smile and said, "Bon appetit." My stomach dropped. I felt like I might be the one fainting. When was the last time you actually ate food? I managed to ask. That's when he revealed he was a breatharian. It's someone who believes they've overcome the need for food and could survive on air and spiritual energy alone. He hadn't eaten in 3 weeks. When I took his vitals, I actually felt fear fill my stomach. His blood pressure was dangerously low. He was severely dehydrated. His body was literally eating itself to stay alive. I tried explaining that his organs were shutting down. That's just Western medicine speaking, he said dismissively. What about your family? I asked, trying to convince this breatharian to eat some food. They'll understand my evolution, he replied. Nothing was working. Nothing I'd learned in medical school prepared me for someone who genuinely believed air was food. And I guess he noticed my lack of expertise, because that's when he started standing up to leave. You doctors aren't spiritually advanced enough to understand. I should have known, he said, heading for the door. My heart was pounding. I had maybe 10 seconds to think of something to save his life, and nothing in my medical training was helping. That's when it happened. My brain suddenly reminded me of this random TikTok I'd watched at 2 a.m. a few weeks ago. It was from some spiritual wellness account discussing different fasting practices. The video had mentioned something specific about breatharianism that most people don't know about. It was my only shot. Wait, I called out, trying to keep my voice calm. Did you know that even the Buddha ate after his enlightenment? He stopped at the door and turned around, actually interested for the first time. I continued, channeling everything I remembered from that TikTok. True breatharians actually practice something called pranic scheduling. They eat at specific times because the food actually makes their spiritual energy stronger. His eyes widened. I was onto something. I remembered the exact quote from the video that had stuck with me. The body is the temple, and temples need foundation. Where did you learn about pranic scheduling? He asked, walking back toward me, like he was ready to actually take my advice and eat some effing food. His entire energy had shifted. He sat back down, leaning forward like I was about to share the secrets of the universe. I breathed a sigh of relief. I've done my research on alternative practices, I said, trying to sound smart by reciting something I'd learned from a 30-second video. We spent the next 20 minutes creating a pranic schedule together, which was basically just me convincing him to eat 3 meals a day. He came back the next week and he'd gained 7 pounds. The internet is wild.